In the nearly 4 years she spent away from her sons in El Salvador after being separated at the border by the Trump administration, Lisy would dream of being able to hold them again. That day finally came last month through the work of a government task force, but the joyful reunion was quickly overshadowed by her inability to financially provide for her family. Since being separated from their mother in fall 2017 by U.S. border authorities, the two brothers, who were 5 and 10 years old at the time, had been raised by an older sister and her husband. Lisy is living with them now, but she said she's expected to pay for their school supplies and clothes. Additionally, her son-in-law told her she'd need to contribute to the rent soon despite not being able to work. "I'm very grateful for being allowed into the country and being reunited with my sons," Lisy told BuzzFeed News. "But as much as it pains me to ask, I need help." Lisy, who asked to be identified by a pseudonym because she doesn't want to jeopardize her ability to stay in the U.S. with her sons, is not alone in her financial problems. The Biden administration's Family Reunification Task Force, charged with locating and facilitating the reunifications, has encountered several challenges along the way, according to government documents obtained by BuzzFeed News. So far, families from the first group of reunifications have reported homelessness shortly after entering the country, according to the documents. Axios first reported that at least 1/3 of about 41 previously separated immigrant families experienced homelessness after being reunited. To help solve the problem, the task force wants the Department of Health and Human Services to offer resettlement services for families, including English classes, money, and medical assistance. But it's unclear, according to the documents, whether the government has the authority to fund the process. Officials hope the funding would help stop any further traumatization of the recently reunified children. "It is critical we find a solution in the near term," the document states.
The Biden administration identified 3,913 children who were separated from their parents at the southern border as a result of Trump's zero-tolerance policy. Finding and physically reuniting families was made difficult by the lack of a comprehensive tracking system among all government agencies involved. The situation was made worse by numerous errors in the files, such as wrong dates, incorrect names, and duplicated cases, a senior Homeland Security official told reporters. In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security said officials are working to ensure reunited families receive the housing and other sources of stability they need. As we explore solutions, the task force is working with the private sector to provide families we reunify, who were separated under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy, with housing when needed, a spokesperson said in a statement. DHS said the task force started reuniting families through a trial process in order to identify complex challenges. But according to the documents, it's not satisfied with the current reunification pace as it faces challenges identified through the initial group of reunifications. Along with trying to add services for arriving families, the task force has worked to improve contact and information sharing with separated families. To do that, the task force is working to educate families on the process and has enlisted the U.S. Agency for International Development to find families who may have been separated, according to the document. The task force noted that advocates had told them that separated families were hesitant to come forward and did not have the necessary information to trust the process. Elsewhere, DHS is working to build a public website for families to self-declare their separation and planning to include an instructional video. A senior administration official previously told reporters the task force intentionally started the reunification slowly so it could go faster later. "We took a lot of time to talk to NGOs and representatives of families who had gone through some of the reunification processes in the past that had been very problematic to try to learn from their experience on what was necessary so that we don't re-traumatize families," the official said.
It's one thing to do this on an individual basis, and quite another when you're trying to build a system that will work for many, many more cases. The process for reuniting families requires travel documents and permission from both parents to take a child out of their home countries, requiring visits to the capital, time, and resources. The task force is also allowing separated parents and children to bring additional family members, which requires another parole request and verification of familial relationships for a person never encountered by DHS. Finally, the U.S. has to establish a way to pay for the travel costs of the family, which has meant partnering with the private sector to help cover additional family members. Lisy said being reunited with her sons has been a mixed bag of emotions. She's overjoyed and happy she can see her sons after being separated, an event she doesn't like to remember. But stepping back into an active role as a mother has been hard because she can't provide for her sons. It's another trauma because I'm with them and I can't get them the things they need, Lisy said. I have no job. I have nothing to offer.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.